Thank you for the opportunity to bring forward our concept design to add an additional structure to the Blight House. The intent is to create a retreat away from busyness of life. Through our site analysis that we have done, we have looked into the way the house is positioned within the site itself, the wind location, how it comes from the back towards the front. We looked at the sound barriers, the sound path. So we have done all these analysis for this lot to create our concept design. And we have brought it through a series of bubble diagram to explain how the system plays out with the new pavilion, how we complement each other, and how the pavilion brings the lighthouse back into the 21st century. So as you can see on the bottom left-hand side, you can see the two divided area where is the private and open areas, where you have all the bedrooms in one side and all the living in the other. On the top right, you can see that into further where we have divided the bedrooms, the wet areas, the living, and the dining areas to into specific colors, so we can see how they relate together. We have also looked into the sun path and how and where the house will be heated up during the day and how it cools down during the night, as you can see in the wind path on the top right hand side. So through those analysis, we have put together a space matrix, and this matrix had shown us what is relevant to the house, what the house is lacking, where the lacking of the house is that the spaces together are too far away from each other. They are not together. They don't feel like they're connecting together. Hence why we have created this concept design. As you can see on the right hand side, we're trying to bring together two types of areas. One area is where we can entertain, which is in the lower floor. The second area is the getaway, where you can be there as a guest or someone who's working at a studio and still be able to be close from home. On the bottom right, you can see our cross section that we have done as a sketch to see how the house will complement each other, whether the side path and the wind path and how it will be flowing through, still hitting the existing home. Within those bubble diagram, we have looked into where the walls will start coming in play, the views of the house, how to enter and how to um, exit both areas of the pavilion. On the right hand side, you can see the bottom where the ground floor, we're using hardwood, um, even though it's not nominated, we're thinking of using hardwood flooring where it still allows natural flow coming into the house from the rear, where the pavilion does not hinder or stops the flow of air coming through. Yeah, so we're now showing how it's all together. On the right hand side, you can see the existing house with the new pavilion and where it sits and how it communicate together. Here we can see the two living areas that we have come up with. Our ground floor, where we're using our entertainment area to people to have social, so they can social gather and keep together and on the right hand side, our upper floor, where um, we have a guest room and they can entertain, or their friends can come and sleep over, or as a work studio where in times like right now where we have a pandemic, this is a great place where they can stay, where they can work without having been disrupted. You can quickly see how the house is it's coming together to with the pavilion. We're using hardwood red cedar or the external exterior for the pavilion. This is because he ages well. It turns browny red when he ages. So when it's exposed to the element, it starts looking part of the landscape. And as well, we have thought of using copper cooperated panels. The reason why we use that is because copper turns green and it matches the colors of the trees that's evolved with it. And being perforated panels, it means that the light still goes through and the wind still go through into the pavilion, through the pavilion, or around the pavilion, so it doesn't hint and stop the flow of air coming through to the house. You can see on the sectional view that how the house or the pavilion, how the house connects to the pavilion, and the playfulness of our staircases coming around the house, around the pavilion, through the pavilion. So you can see how it plays around with the existing house, being that the existing house has 5 levels of living areas, which are what we're trying to create, so that pavilion does not take away and still becomes part of the existing home with the playfulness of those level splits or the split levels. So, and that's the end of the presentation. Thank you so much.